This is Freedom Global News.
Senate defers debate on Central Bank of Nigeria cash withdrawal policy to tomorrow. House of Representatives asked NNPC to end petrol scarcity within 1 week. Department of State Service summons Kano State Independent Petroleum Marketers of Nigeria amid fuel scarcity. And on the foreign scene, South Africa's parliament votes against President Cyril Ramaphosa's impeachment. Good evening, you're listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. My name is Zara Zanna. Today is the 13th of December 2022, and now the news in full. Senate has postponed its debate on the cash withdrawal policy by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. The Senate had last Wednesday fixed Tuesday, 13th of December 2022, to debate the Central Bank of Nigeria policy over cash withdrawal limits. A member of the committee, Senator Olubunmi Adetumbi, in a point of order, told his colleagues that the absence of the chairman of the Committee on Banking and Finance, Senator Ubasani, who is away attending the All Progressive Congress (APC) presidential rally in Kaduna, is responsible for the postponement. And it can be assured the Senate that the report of the Committee on the CBN withdrawal policy is ready, noting that the committee's chairman had to attend the APC zonal rally in his capacity as governorship candidate of Kaduna State. Responding Senate President Ahmed Lawan appealed to lawmakers to be patient, as the findings of the committee will be unveiled within 24 hours. Uba is also expected to brief his colleagues on the outcome of the screening of Edward Adamu and Aisha Ahmed as deputy governors of the CBN. The House of Representatives has called on the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to ensure adequate supply of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, within 7 days. At the plenary today, the House particularly asked NNPC Limited to end this artificial scarcity within the next 1 week in order to ease the suffering of Nigerians, while calling on the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission to seek collaboration of the Nigerian Police Force and the DSS to ensure that fuel is sold at the regulated price and in all retail outlets. The House further mandated its committees on petroleum resources, downstream, and legislative compliance to ensure compliance with the resolution. The resolution was based on a motion of urgent public importance moved by a member of the House, Musa Abdullahi, entitled Urgent Need for the Government to End the Current Fuel Scarcity. Moving the motion, Abdullahi noted that in the last few months, Nigerians have been subjected to untold hardships caused by the lingering petrol scarcity, affecting economic activities and making the already trying times in the country more difficult. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS Commission, cautions citizens and political parties against any form of violence during the 2023 forthcoming elections. The Program Officer Mediation Directorate of Political Affairs, ECOWAS Commission, Brown Odige, made the plea today in Kano during the opening ceremony of a 4-day training and interactive workshops on dialogue and mediation with members of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, from Northwest and Northeast geopolitical zones. According to Odige, the workshop is aimed at strengthening the capacity of political actors and stakeholders in Nigeria to prevent and mitigate potential pre- and post-election related disputes and violence to ensure peaceful electoral outcomes.
Key important instrument that we can deploy to do that is the use of mediation and creating room for dialogue among political actors and stakeholders. So I'm one of those critical political actors in the electoral process, leadership of the Inter-Party Advisory Council. That is why we narrow down on this critical body, including police and security agencies and the Independent National Electoral Commission, to bring them together to enhance capacity for dialogue and mediation as tools for preventing and mitigating post-election related conflicts and violence.
In his remark, the chairman of IPAC and presidential candidate of the Action Democratic Party, ADP, Engineer Yabayu Waisani, urges politicians to guard the present democracy since they are the first casualties in the event of failure.
Public sector driven, meaning that, and we have underbanked, businesses that's outside the banking system, and you can't change that overnight. It's not possible. The issue of money to address that issue, because democracy is very dear to us. We wouldn't like anything that will upset. There's a need for Mr. President to sit down with the political parties, with us, so that we can tell him certain things before they go out with certain things that will affect the polity itself.
Correspondent Muhammad Sani Uba reports that the training and interactive workshops organized by the Directorate of Political Affairs, Department of Political Affairs, Peace and Security of the Area, being supported with funding from the government of the Kingdom of Denmark under the Danish Africa Program for Peace. Oba Yoruba Kano Murtala Alimi Otisese has thumbs up Kano contingent to the just ended 21st edition of the National Sports Festival, NSF, tagged Delta 2022. Muhammad Sani Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
The traditional ruler, Muritala Alimi Otisese, described the sterling performance by the Kano State contingent as heroic, noting that the overall performance by the team deserved to be praised. The monarch, in a statement issued today, said once again, Kano athletes have shown that the state retains its role as the frontline state in northern Nigeria and Nigeria at large. According to him, Kano team winning 19 gold, 27 silver and 30 bronze, in total 76 medals is an enviable achievement. Meanwhile, the Professional Footballers Association of Nigeria Task Force rejected the Players Union's Reconciliation Committee inaugurated by the Nigeria Football Federation to settle the differences among factions of the Players Union. President of the Nigeria Football Federation, Ibrahim Musa Gusau, yesterday in Abuja inaugurated a 5-man panel to finally and fully restore peace to the rank of Nigeria's retired and active football players. He implored the members to work towards erasing all forms of misgivings among the game's major actors and they allow Nigerian football to move forward in peace and tranquility. He revealed that the federation met with the leaders of the two factions of the Players Union, where they deliberated on how to achieve reconciliation and peace. At the head of the committee is Edo State Deputy Governor Comrade Philip Shuaibu, with the former international Emmanuel Okala, Dr. Phyllis Owalabi Akiloe, and Garba Lawal as members, while Abdurrafiu Yusuf will serve as secretary. In another update, Brazil legend Ronaldo Nazario de Lima has expressed his support for the Atlas Lions of Morocco. The Atlas Lions became the first African team to reach the semi-finals in the tournament history when they beat Portugal 1-0 at Al Thumama Stadium in Doha on Saturday. Morocco went through to the group stages unbeaten and conceded just 1 goal in their opening 3 matches before going on to keep another 2 clean sheets against Spain and their Iberian neighbors. And on tennis, a professional tennis player from Poland, Iga Natalia Swiatek, has been named the 2022 Women's Tennis Association Player of the Year. This comes after she won 2 major titles to her current tally of 3. She topped the WTA rankings for the first time in April and went on to winning 8 titles during a 37-match winning streak. Muhammad Sani Uba, Freedom Radio.
Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com, or call us through this number, 082444 Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The Department of State Service has summoned the Independent Petroleum Marketers of Nigeria, Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, and other stakeholders, directing them to quickly resolve the lingering fuel scarcity in the state. With a litre of fuel in Kano selling between 310 naira and 320 naira, the meeting, according to a senior DSS official who did not want to be mentioned, was held yesterday and lasted several hours between the security agents, the petroleum marketers, and other stakeholders. He said during the meeting, the market has led the DSS into the problems they were facing and suggested ways to get the commodity from other parts of Nigeria to Kano. According to him, some of the challenges they were facing include high cost of supplying petrol to the northern part of the nation, lack of good roads that have resulted in consistent damage to their trucks, and the federal government's refusal to settle their bridging claims, among others. In the same vein, the Department of Petroleum Resources had set up a 3-man team for monitoring supplies in Kano, which would commence operations today to ensure uninterrupted supply of the commodity to filling stations in the state. For tomorrow's weather forecast in some cities in Nigeria and parts of Niger Republic, here's the report.
Kano tomorrow morning is expected to have a clear sky and light wind at an average temperature of 11 degrees Celsius and later change to 20 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a gentle breeze. Katsina will experience a clear sky and light wind at an average temperature of 14 degrees Celsius and later change to 21 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a gentle breeze. Kaduna will have a clear sky and light wind at 16 degrees Celsius and later change to 22 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a gentle breeze. Abuja is expected to have partly cloudy sky and light wind at 19 degrees Celsius and later give way to 27 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and light winds. Lagos will have a clear sky and light wind at 25 degrees Celsius and later increase to 27 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and light winds. Moving to Niger Republic, Maradi is expected to have a clear sky and a gentle breeze at an average temperature of 14 degrees Celsius and later increase to 21 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a moderate breeze. While Zinda will have a clear sky and light wind at 17 degrees Celsius and later increase to 23 degrees Celsius with sunny intervals and a gentle breeze. Yerinchate Mark, Freedom Radio.
On business, Muhammad Abba Abdullahi has updates.
Oil marketers has criticized the import monopoly held by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, noting that the situation was not helping the petrol market. In his presentation at a virtual press workshop themed Deregulation Understanding the Downstream Supply Chain held in Lagos, General Manager Operations, Total Energies Marketing Nigeria Limited, Abdul Muttalib Rabiu, called for an end to NNPC petrol import monopoly, represented by an independent consultant and former Group Executive Director, NNPC, Bello Rabiu. Total Energies General Manager said the federal government should allow healthy competition by granting license and access to foreign exchange to marketers willing to get into the product importation businesses. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Immigration Service has announced that the Nigerians returning to Nigeria can be admitted into the country with their expired Nigerian passport. This was contained in a memo addressed to all heads of missions, immigration attached, airport controller and airline. According to the memo, which was signed by the Special Assistant to the Controller General, Foreign Desk DCI PM Lawal for the Controller General of the Immigration Service, Muhammad Babendi, all airlines were requested to allow holders with expired Nigerian passports to border without any hindrance. Muhammad Abba Abdullahi, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, South Africa's parliament has voted against starting impeachment proceedings against President Cyril Ramaphosa over a report that says he held undeclared foreign currency at his farm in 2020. Abdukarim Muhammad Abdukarim reports.
The legislators voted 214 to 148 against the move. The ruling African National Congress, which hold a majority in the parliament, largely stood with Ramaphosa, preventing the motion from getting the two-thirds vote needed to proceed with impeachment. 4 ANC members of parliament, however, showed their opposition to Ramaphosa by voting in favor of impeachment, and a few more did not show up for the vote. The crucial vote came after a damning parliamentary report alleged that Ramaphosa illegally hid at least $580,000 in cash in a sofa at his Pala Pala game ranch. He said he did not report the theft of the money to the police in order to avoid questions over how he got the foreign currency and why he had not declared it to authorities. Meanwhile, the leader of Jamaat al-Islami, Bangladesh's largest Muslim party, has been arrested days after he announced the party will join opposition-led protests demanding the resignation of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Shafiqur Rahman was arrested from his residence at around 1 a.m. today. A statement from the party's acting secretary general, Maulana ATM Mausun, said today. For years, Jamaat, the country's third largest political party, which has been banned from contesting elections since 2012, was a major ally of the main opposition Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP, and their coalition ruled the country between 2001 and 2006. To 2006. Abdul Karim Muhammad Abdul Karim, Freedom Radio.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team and I, Zara Zanna, thank you for listening.
This is Freedom
Radio.